uh, presentation is Carvelle Estriplet. Carvelle, you here? Please step up to the podium. We usually give 3 minutes for presentation, but whatever you need to take.
Okay. Ready? All right, I'm here to comment basically on a resolution that this commission approved last meeting regarding the trans issue. Just want to say first, thank you, Glassman. Thank you, Mayor Tritelis. Thank you, Commissioner Sorsen. Just want to first say, it was great to see the rabbi say there was no place for hate. Vice Mayor Moraitis, I have to point out this to you. Trans women are women. I like what you did. You proved, you showed the women came over here. You had the soccer team over here. And that was good. That was great. But you have to understand, as a trans woman, we face discriminatory, we be demonized. We are constantly like ridiculed. And it's so disgusting that right now that the conservative movement is to go after trans women, go after create issues that do not exist. What is the purpose of that? There's no purpose for that. And Commissioner McKinzie, I just want to inform you, Black Trans Lives Matter as well. And it's so hypocritical for you, Vice Mayor, that you champion yourself as a Christian. You champion yourself that you are for women's rights. You champion yourself that you want to help the underdog, but you're being hypocritical. You have two members of you have the mayor, you have a commissioner who are openly gay and part of my community. And it's frankly disgusting that in this country that we are trying to propose bills for problems that don't exist. Already this year, in 2021, we lost 17 trans women. Majority of them were Black and brown. Promoting hateful legislation, promoting ridicule, like issues that don't exist. Use your Christian heart. Use your Christian heart. You preach that you're a person of faith, and I'm glad that we had the rabbi here. There's no place for hate. There's no place for hate. So on that, I just want to express that. I'm glad that it was approved under that, but being hypocritical, you can change that. You claim to be faithful, follow through, practice what you preach. So on that, also, I just want to comment. Also, today is May 4th. I had a friend, Monica Roberts. Today would be her birthday. We lost her last year. She did a lot of advocacy work in the Houston and Texas area. A lot of she was one of the pioneers of the Trans Remember Day, and today is our birthday, and just want to acknowledge that. So, thank you again. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Glassman, for the opportunity to speak here. And please, Vice Mayor, follow your heart, follow your Christian heart. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Mayor, may I just say a word to Carvelle?
Okay, sure.
Thank you. And Carvelle, I just wanted to take a moment and thank you for being here, actually.
Yeah.
I saw that you were going to speak. It actually is one of the reasons that I am in person today. I've been attending the commission meetings remotely. But I did want to express myself and just say thank you for being here and thank you for speaking to your true self.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want you to know how valued you are as a member of our community, as a citizen, participating here in the city of Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is a wonderfully diverse, welcoming city, and you will always be valued in this city. And you spoke about your friend who passed away, and you mentioned how many transgender women have been murdered this year. I've been doing a lot of reading lately since our last meeting, and I actually was shocked to find out that in April alone, 3 transgender women of color were murdered in the United States. And you're right, 17 so far in just a few short months.
And then, yeah.
44 transgender women were murdered in the United States last year, the year before this.
Yeah.
If you read the studies from the National Center for Transgender Equality, and you read the studies from the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, the statistics are appalling. The rate of suicide among transgender youth, appalling in comparison to non-transgender youth. To read about the inequities in employment and unemployment and housing, and you name a topic, you name an issue, and yet all of the studies that were done, the most recent, almost 7,000 transgendered folks were surveyed on a whole range of topics. And yet what was so startling and touching was at the end of the survey, you still heard that there's still a resilience there. There is still a will to say, I'm here, this is who I am, and I'm going to survive, and I'm going to be a wonderful citizen.
I could speak that for my own experience. I mean, from being trained, we're speaking about, you have the rabbi here talking about transformative thing, experiences. And I came from where I had to work the streets. I had to do everything, the hustle and things. And now I stand here as a bike shop owner. I went through the struggles, and it just frankly disgusts me that in this country, we went through Black Lives Matter. We went through, and there's still something wrong with the conservative view. I'm pointing this out there. Why obsess with trans issues? They don't exist. There's no rampant amount of trans women taking scholarships. And it's kind of like funny that you had the soccer team here too. And it's like, there's not even one evidence, one story of a trans woman taking scholarship from a woman. And besides, again, trans women are women, Vice Mayor.
Yes, I'm definitely not debating that you're not a woman, and I definitely support your
Then why you don't stand for the rights?
live, work,
Yes.
and play in our city. But I do have to say, I think you have a physical advantage over me being born a biological female. So that's why I do
That
not,
is the opinion. There's been research, and that says when a person is on hormones for X amount of years, I have to look at the research, but the research last time I saw was 5 years or more. There's levels in which some women, natural born women, have more testosterone than some high performance athletes. There's no correlation to that. So I heard that argument before. That sounds like another conservative, bizarre, non-critical thinking. Sorry, I'm being harsh, but it's true.
And I just want to say thank you. I think
Thank
you're
you.
right. I think so much of this is really education and learning the facts.
Yes.
That is why the Florida High School Athletic Association has had procedures and policies in place. I leave it up to the experts. You're right. There's never been
Absolutely.
It is a solution in search of a problem. But I think the more we have this kind of dialogue and we have education, I think we'll get there. But again, I just wanted to say thank you for being here.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
and I also
Glassman.
thank you for being here too. I really do. And I want to hear your perspective. I still believe my perspective that I want biological women to stay in the sport. And, I don't understand obviously the issue as much as you do, but
It doesn't exist.
I have to look at Caitlyn Jenner and what she just said this week. So, I don't.
Why am I
understand.
surprised?
All right, wait, she's talking.
I have to look at people who also have this experience and see what they say. So as an athlete, as an Olympian, she has this perspective. I'm looking at your body. Do you want to stand next to me and see how different you look? Do you want to arm wrestle? I know you're stronger than me.
Yeah, but guess what? I don't want to compete in support. Not every trans woman. That's that assumption again. That's that
Right.
Republican
Well,
assumption.
It's not a
Yeah.
Republican assumption.
Yeah, it
I
is.
do believe men are biologically.
And you
bigger
call me a man. Yeah? That's what you're saying?
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I think we've expressed our points of view.
Mayor,
Let me hear Carvelle.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Mayor, can I talk, Mayor?
Wait a minute. Just hold on a sec. And thank you, Vice Mayor Moraitis. Do you want to say a final word, Commissioner Sorensen?
Yeah, yeah. So a couple of things, and this I'm learning too. So this is something that I'm trying to get smarter on too. Commissioner, let's see, Glassman, you and I've done a little bit of research on this, but you probably know better than I do. The NCAA, right, allows for transgender athletes, right, and they do a level of hormone testing. Is that? Do I have that right?
Yes, the NCAA and
Right.
in Florida, the Florida High School Athletic Association have had policies and protocols in place for almost a decade now. And there has been no issue. There has been absolutely no issue. In fact, they've been able to identify 11 transgender women, girls, who actually wanted to play in sports in public schools K through 12. 11 over the last, I think, 8 or 9 years. And out of the 11, one was a transgender woman, and it was on the bowling team.
Yeah.
And yet that took up hours and hours and hours of debate in the Florida legislature, when God knows there are so many issues that we could be debating that really matter to the population in the state of Florida. But yes, you're correct.
Thanks. And Commissioner Glass, if I think I have this right, that the NCAA is so convicted in their view of transgender athletes that they're even saying they're looking at boycotting or avoiding states that don't allow for equal, fair competition. Have you heard that? Or
yes, that is correct. And in fact, in the state of Florida, we've had statements of support from many of the professional sports teams, such as even in our area, the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers. And then there've been some, I think, Tampa soccer team, Orlando. There've been actual sports teams that have come out against that bill that was recently passed in Tallahassee.
And then is it Carvelle? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing.
Yes, Carvelle.
Carvelle, yeah.
Carvelle still there? Can I talk to her, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Hey, Carvelle. So, and I know, Carvelle, you know this much better than I do, but one, thank you for being here. Thank you for speaking your truth. And for me, differences don't divide us. It's the differences between you and me, between your background, your experiences, and mine that make us stronger. I'm a better person because there are people like you in the world that challenge norms, that challenge biases, that elevate our thinking, elevate our justice, elevate our equality. You bring us out of our comfort zones and stretch us. I appreciate that. And Carvelle, we have two little girls, a 4-year-old and 7-year-old. My hope is that when they have friends, when they play sports, when they socialize, that they look for people that are different. They look for people that have different viewpoints, different perspectives, different backgrounds. Because for my daughters, I'm very convinced that the more they connect with people that have different perspectives, different backgrounds, the more they will find that which unites them, that which connects them, that which connects their humanity. So it's a stretch for us. It's a stretch for me at times, but we need more champions like you to encourage us to be greater, better humans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well,
And Mayor, I want to know one thing. If Caitlyn Jenner believes what she's saying, why is she teeing off from the women's tee when she plays golf all the time?
That's true. Yeah.
By the way, it's
I've seen
very
that.
true. And I want to know what that's all about.
I don't know. Why don't you call her?
I'm going to find out.
Okay. Let's move on. Thank you, Carvelle. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you being here. Support the words of Commissioner Sorensen and Glassman, and you know what? It is education. Maybe we all need to, instead of condemn one another for disagreeing with one another, that we reach out to one another, avoid the hate, and seek love, and perhaps we can find more basis for agreement than disagreement. So, anyway, we'll move.